Hey, what's going on, Health Nation? This is OCK Fitness. This evening, I want to touch up on, I see this a lot. Well, at least now, I don't go to the gym that frequently because, I have it set up at home, you know, where, my workout is not as intense, but, it gets me, the results that I'm looking for. But when I do go to the gym, what I frequently see, it sometimes you can sort of tell, yeah, this person is a beginner, whether they're young or old, or just basically they have no experience at all. Even some, have, a little bit of definition showing, but they just don't have a plan. I mean, come on. I mean, if you are into fitness and you make your mind up to go to the gym, there is obviously something that you see that you want to modify on your body. Whether it's, weight loss, where, you go to the gym and you spend all of your time, burning muscle, whatever it is that you may have, the little bit of muscle that you may have, on a treadmill or exercise bike or whatever cardio equipment, or whether your goal is, to build muscle or strength, and what exactly you want to target. But come on, have a plan. I mean, say for instance, right, whether you're old or young and, you're starting off, or even whether you have a bit of experience, and you look at yourself and you say, okay, well, I want to develop the show muscles, the pecs, the chest, the broad shoulders, the biceps, the show muscles, the muscles that make you look bigger than you really are when you have on a t-shirt or something, and you say, okay, I want to build chest. And you say to yourself, okay, well, if I do chest, what are the type of exercises that I can do? Well, you have your traditional flat bench press. You have the incline and the decline. Boom, you got it. You can use free weights. You can use the barbell, or you can use the assisted machines. But you need to have a plan. And I'm just tired of seeing people going to the gym. You'll see them 1 minute, on a leg press. Then the next minute, you see them doing some bicep curls, and then you see them, doing some abs, just random, with no type of focus on a particular muscle group that they want to target. If you go to the gym, like I said, have a plan. Make sure you have a plan. Ask yourself, what is it that I need to work on? Okay, my biceps. You have your standing bicep curls. You can use the bar. You can use dumbbells. After that, okay, well, what other type of bicep exercise that I can do? Well, you have your preacher curls. You can do that. Or even just go online and Google. There's actually this website that details, I will have to look it up and maybe update this later. But it details all the muscle groups. You click on a particular muscle, and it shows you all the different type of exercises. They have like these little GIF files. GIF files are basically image files, but they have a little rotating or auto playing animation. So you click on a particular muscle group, and it give you the scientific name of the muscle, and it shows you the type of exercises that you can do for that particular muscle group. Make sure you have a plan. If you're a beginner, I would say minimum of, if you're just filling yourself out, for the first time, okay, I can understand you jumping from exercise to exercise, but at least, do 2 to 3 sets. If you're doing chest, okay, if I do chest, what are the, through the synergetic effect, what other muscle gets activated? Well, you have depending on how wide your hands are apart. If you're doing a flat bench press, either way, you're still gonna be focused on this muscle, which is your tricep. Okay, if you do chest, you have your traditional flat, incline, and decline. You can do some what do they call it? Some cables, for the chest. Okay, and if you do that, do some tricep exercises, tricep push downs, tricep overhead push ups, some triceps kickbacks. Make sure you have a plan, please, because I'm just tired of going to the gym when I do go to the gym and just see just randomness. I'm an orderly person. I like things to be in order. If I'm doing one thing, unless I'm in the mood where okay, I'm in a mood to do some intense workout where okay, I hit flat bench, go, then I get off and I do some push up, to supplement it, or I do some triceps, where I go back and forth. But if you're a beginner, I wouldn't really recommend that because you're gonna burn yourself out. You probably don't have the energy for it anyway. I would suggest that you focus on a particular muscle group. If you're doing chest, do triceps, and yeah, just stick to the compound movements and the other muscle groups that gets activated through the synergetic effect when you're working on a particular muscle group. If you're doing legs, don't go do some leg presses and then go jump on some bicep or some triceps. No, do leg presses. If you can't, do some squats, some standing squats. Do some leg extensions, do some leg curls, do some what's the I forget the exercises for your inner thigh and your outer thigh. Do a complete leg workout. And after that, you can say, okay, I'm done with that. What else can I do? You can maybe jump on abs, cut up, some ab exercises that you can do. Going forward or whatever, I'll start, when I start, recording my workout, show you guys, the type of ab exercises that I like to do, that get me the gains, that I want, and I'm pretty sure that you want too. But that's all, guys. Just try to come up with a plan or get someone to help you, because it doesn't look cool. And at the same time, what type of results do you hope to gain from doing one set of every exercises? Are you gonna go to the gym and jump on every machine there? No, you're gonna kill yourself. You're not gonna get any gains, no results at all. So try to draw up a plan, and like I said, going forward or whatever, I try to record my workouts if they allow cameras in this little gym that I'm currently going to now, or even maybe some animation or some cutscenes, pictures, or whatever the case is. Show you guys, type of exercises that you can do for a particular muscle group. So if you are interested, do comment. Let me know whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or even advanced. I myself, there's this YouTube guy, can't think of his name. But like he said, no matter how advanced, you will always try to keep a beginner's mind in the sense, a beginner mind in the sense to where, you can always go back to basics, not a beginner's mind where you're just jumping on every exercise, not in that sense, but, a beginner's mind, in that you can always go back to the basic exercises, and a particular routine, and you stick to it, But yeah, comment below, let me know what you think, and let me know, have you ever gone to the gym and just seen someone or some people, just doing random exercises, and you're like, what the fuck? That in itself, it just tends to throw me off, even though when I'm in the gym, I'm focused on me. I don't care about anyone else or what they're doing. Every now and then I'll look around to see, who's there or who's near me or whatever the case is. But other than that, when I go in the gym, I know when I'm you know, what I'm focused on, what I'm gonna do. And once I'm done with that, you know, like today, you know, I got on the on the leg routine. You know, after I did my leg routine, you know, I said, okay, well, jump on some abs, did some various ab exercises. You know, some using the medicine ball, this little medicine ball, and I did some oblique twisters, you know. And after that, I said, okay, well, what else can I do? You know, then I'm lacking in, you know, a plan. I'm really lacking in my triceps. So, you know, actually, I did, you know, did a little chest, you know, with using the assisted machines. I did some chest, and then I jump on the triceps. After the triceps, you know, I got on the back. It wasn't really that much, you know, but it was still a complete workout in that, you know, I did 4 sets, you know, and on the 4th set, you know, I started dropping the weights. You know, you got to have a plan, guys, when you go to the gym. All right, take care.